We are live. Hey, man.
How you doing?
Hey,
Say hi to
this is
Frankie.
Hey, Frankie. This is a rare moment, but
Hello, how you doing, guys?
so we're on a snow vacation, and my girl's been kind enough to let me do a hangout with you. Pachi, and the little boy right over there. Kingston. Life of a traveling bartender, man.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a benefit of being a bartender. If you were a lawyer, you couldn't do this. If you had an office job, you couldn't do it either. But since you're a bartender, you can travel everywhere. Hello, young man. How you doing?
Hey, Pachi.
Hey,
Say hi to
high
Matthias.
five.
Say hey, hey, Matthias. Yeah. Okay. Go to mama. Alright. I love you, boy. Yeah. So, Matthias, man, it's one thing I really wanted to talk to you about, I guess, was you and Frankie. First, introduce everyone to Frankie and introduce everyone to why the hell you're carrying this thing around with you around the world.
Okay, Frankie is basically our adopted son with my girlfriend. We found him in Bangkok in a very dirty area, so he was covered with dust, with dirt. He was totally blackish. So I spent one day in a washing machine in order to get back his original color blue. Officially, he is anime character, cat from the future, sent back from the 22nd century, and in order to basically be a bodyguard of a kid who gonna make a lot of important changes in the history of humanity. But from our perspective, Frank is our adopted son, so we really would like to have a kid one day with my girls. We were like, okay, why not to carry Frankie with us? Because if we could manage to look after Frankie, a kid won't be difficult either. So wherever we go, wherever we travel, we always carry him with us. So he was in Singapore with us, in Malaysia, everywhere in Europe. He took a trip with us to New York, Boston, and now he is with me and Grand Cayman. He really misses his mother, by the way.
That's one thing that it really caught my eye when I started looking at what was going on online. I started noticing that I started noticing this mascot everywhere, and then I thought to myself, "Ciao, mi amor, papi, ciao, kita agarran bien." I started noticing that's one thing you don't see very much of. You don't see people utilizing mascots.
Yeah, especially when it's someone like 200 kilograms and almost 2 meters tall. So try to imagine me being carrying Frankie in his official pineapple bag. So this is how Frankie travels in a pineapple bag.
You are one big boy, huh? Jeez, the contrast between you carrying this, what you're doing with Legacy, it's it kind of for me it kind of felt like what's this guy doing with this? What's the angle that he's playing at? And that's one thing I really wanted you to share with people is to is does Frankie join in? Does he connect with the Legacy in any way? Or is it just simply something that it's who you are as a person?
It's 50-50 because my drink is based around the idea of friendship. So each and every ingredient refers to an important role in a friendship, just like having fun together, having quality time, spend time together, uh, and so on. So Frank is basically the way how I could get connected to people. So try to imagine, as a European guy, you go to Asia, you know no one, and obviously the way how you look, not, it's not basically what people gonna think about it. So when I met people, they think that, oh, this guy must be very serious and so on. So there's a big contrast when I have Frankie on my backpack, in my backpack, and people are like, "Hey, how you doing, man?" So it's easy to open a conversation. Is And people react differently entirely. So
I
basically,
think it's one thing we should probably tell people who are tuning in now, that I mean, you're representing Hungary,
yeah,
so you know the contrast between this giant Hungarian man, you know, who's carrying around this soft anime toy with a cocktail by the name of the Beautiful Friendship. You know, it's such a huge contrast.
exactly. But it's a good thing to do because life, as your cocktail, is about contrast. So it's a radical thing. So there's a massive difference between how I look and who I am. But people are gonna judge you after how do you look like without knowing you. So it makes it a little bit easier and a little bit more accessible to open up people. And if you had a conversation with them, they won't judge you after how you look because they're gonna accept who you are. So that's why I'm carrying Frankie because I'd have not to be judged after how I look. Obviously, if you uh, met a guy on the streets at night time, you don't want to have a conversation with as a that's for sure.
Yeah.
You see a guy carrying a mascot, a fun mascot, and a pineapple bag, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, this guy must be cool, even if he is like massive. So that's the
Yeah,
purpose of Frankie in
I
Legacy.
think it's one of it, I think it's one of those things that you know it can endear you to people. It's something that you know it's a point of access for someone to understand you as a person, the drink as a concept, and I suppose you know everything, all sums of its part joining together.
Yeah,
It can be centered around this one image, and I think that's really smart, man. I really do. I
everything
think
is linked together.
it doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel like you're pushing something that isn't authentic. And you know, I'm noticing that you're going to some of the world's most famous bars, and you're getting this mascot in the hands of some of the most world-renowned bartenders. And I think it's yeah, it draws the public into your sphere, which is really it's a really intelligent thing. Whether or not you planned that or if it just kind of came organically. But congratulations to you, man.
Thank you. It came totally organically because when we found Frankie in Bangkok, we created him an Instagram account, so he has his own Instagram with followers and everything else. So the idea
Hi,
was like
man.
I was super nervous on the stage because I didn't really have time to practice what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna do. So it's just a kind of ad hoc in the Hungarian semis. So when there zero practicing. I knew roughly what I wanted to say, but nothing was scheduled really. So I was like, okay. My girlfriend took Frankie, so I was like, okay, Frankie gonna come with me on the stage, and she's gonna be in the first line, and then I just gonna calm down and do whatever happens. Just let it flow, go with the flow, and that seems like it's worked very well. It's worked out very well. But to be fair,
Congratulations, man.
when I first checked your Instagram account, when I started to following you, I was like, yes, finally is speaking the same language as me. So get the same sort of ideas because your drink represents obviously art and very dramatic art because Cubist was something what changed art forever. and not a lot of
Yeah,
people would be able to represent it like you do it right now. So congratulations on that.
oh, thanks, man. I think the best way that I suppose I could frame Cubist as a concept, it's contrast on acid. It's the ability to be different, to fragment an idea and to share perspectives. And I think having such a simple drink, and I'm sure for those who are watching now, it took me 2 seconds to make this. It's super easy. Martini extra dry, a little bit of pasty. Thanks so much, man. Thank you. Bacardi Blanca, lemon and honey water, and of course, family and friends. So let's see. Kimmy, say hi to
Matthias.
Hi guys.
There you go.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely. We're gonna get some Cubist going for the family here. Yes, please for you too. We just spent a day up in the slopes. We wanted to make a couple of cocktails and create this contrast, right? So it's gonna get a little bit loud.
Over here.
So, so the concept behind this, I'm really glad that you brought it up. The fact that our two drinks share a very similar line of thinking. That you have to break out of the shell that you're in, and you have to kind of accept difference in life, right?
Yeah, that's what is life about. You have to adopt things. You have to accept differences because this is how you can cooperate with others.
Matthias, we're gonna have a drink here in your honor.
I'm gonna have one, and it's you guys. I was cheating a little bit because what I've done, I pre-made a bottle of Amistad, and I just have to pour it over ice, and that's it basically.
Hey man, that's not cheating. That's called being smart and prepared.
Preparation is very important. I mean, especially if you travel
where you
a
are
lot.
right now.
Yes, at the moment
And
at Grand Cayman, at Cayman Islands. At the moment, just building up a place beverage program, and in a few days' time, I'm heading back to Budapest to be for Hotel Clark, where I belong to. It's really a good place to be because it's 35 degrees, sandy beaches, 80% humidity, so you're really gonna get the Caribbean feeling.
I mean that it's very funny that there we are, my friend. Another, my other friend. Here we are. Thank you, sir. Cheers. Cheers. To you guys.
Cheers, guys.
To Matias, to you. Salud.
Cheers. See you. Salud. That's it.
There's very few things in this world that are better than making a drink that your family and friend likes.
I agree. Totally agree. You know what is better to making one drink for your family and friends? Making two.
Making many drinks for your family and friends.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
So, we touched on it really briefly just now, but that was a big thing that I really want to talk to you about is traveling bartenders and how we go about moving from destination to destination and how you can best maximize your ability to capitalize on spreading the message of your legacy, on getting experience personally and professionally, and also enjoying and getting the most out of everything I mean, you're everywhere. You're in New York, you're in Japan, you're in Thailand, you're in Cayman, you're all through Europe. How are you doing it? How are you enjoying yourself and rising La Amistad's awareness?
So basically, traveling is one thing. What I do because I want to meet new people. I want to, I want to have a better understanding on different cultures. I want to see things. I want to experience things. I want to taste new flavors. This is how I get inspired as well, and that's what we're doing with my girlfriend. So whenever we have a little bit of free time or savings. We try to pick a destination what we would like to visit. Definitely, we make our suitcases and we're just going. So the difficulty of that is so often you don't have enough free time because obviously you have your work and you have your schedule very tight. You enter competitions as well, but what I like is wherever we go, we meet new people, we exchanging ideas, and it's very inspirational. So I don't know, from from my point of view, traveling is the only thing what you spend money on and you get richer. You get richer because you're gonna have new friends, you're gonna have memories to remember, and obviously the feeling when you just meet someone who is from an entirely other country, from another side of the planet, but you same the same language, you share the same values. That that makes everything just super cool, and it makes it worth. So basically, that was the idea to be a traveling bartender. I was based in London the last 6 years, and London is always a hub. It's a traveling hub. So you have access to basically everywhere in the planet. You just have to go to Heathrow or Gatwick, and you can be anywhere on the planet in less than a day, which is a great thing. So also London is one of the cocktail capitals worldwide. So I met a lot of amazing people. I learned a lot of things, and it opened a lot of gates to me. So, for instance, when we went to Boston, I didn't know that what we're gonna do in Boston because I booked the tickets far far earlier than Legacy. I booked the tickets in May, and it was like super cheap, like 250 euros for two people for a return ticket from Barcelona to Boston. So, and then it's like literally nothing. Yeah. And then when I entered Bacardi and we had the semifinals in Hungary, after that I was like asking my friends if they knew anyone in Boston. And one of my friends told me that yes, there's a Hungarian guy who can connect with me, and he knew the actual US winner this year, Moisaza. So he was the Eastern winner of the States this year. So I just contacted him. He was super cool, super friendly, super helpful, and he's an amazing guy, super humble. So I had the opportunity to have a guest shift at his place, the Ghost Folks in Boston, and it wasn't really about the guest shift. It was about I could talk to him. I could get advices from him, and we could exchange ideas. So it was like a very positive experience to me. And the same thing wherever I go. It's like if I don't know anyone, a friend of mine gonna know someone who can put me in the right direction. So it's a sort of networking. That's why I love Legacy. Unlike any other competitions, you have 3 months and you can actually make your legacy if you are doing it well. I don't know how is it work for you.
Um, I suppose it's one of those things where for me, I'm a family man, and I have to balance having kids. I have to balance finances. I have to balance passion. I have to balance location, and sometimes it
Yeah,
can all be quite difficult. But for example, we're 6 hours north, up in the fields, and whenever I'm traveling, I'm always looking for opportunities to spread a legacy. In like take like you'll do it all the time. times. I think that's a brilliant idea. I had the same thing today. You know, we pre-batch some cubists. I head up to the mountains, and I can make my legacy drink anywhere and everywhere, and it's super easy. And I try to get as many people involved as I can, because the more people that can get involved, the higher the awareness. I'm ticking off, and I think you have to be smart with it. You have to be smart with traveling and incorporating a cocktail competition.
Yeah.
The more people that you can touch with, the more people that can help you in any way, shape, or form. Like you said, knowing someone who knows someone who can get you into the right place, not being scared to ask.
Yeah, totally agree.
But Matt, speaking of family, my little boy's not doing too well, so I'm gonna go change a nappy really quick.
Okay, no worries.
Can you please keep speaking? Tell everyone about Amistad, and what's inside the drink, and how you came about creating that legacy.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Thanks, man. I'll
So,
be back in like 2 minutes.
all right. So the
All right,
idea of
thanks, mate.
Amistad is
Bye.
basically based on the idea of friendship, of rich friendship. When I mean rich friendship, is rich in values. So I have a lot of friends, and had so many times a very rough period in my life when my friends were helping me so much. So I wanted to showcase this in a drink as a thank you to them, because they were always next to me and they became a second family. So the drink is based on Bacardi No.7, because I think friendship to be a real one requires time. So the more time you give it to, the better it's going to be. That's why I choose the Quattro. And the second ingredient is an Amontillado sherry. The reason why it's sherry, because I'm a Hungarian guy, and in Hungary, uh, friendly conversations so many times happen in the companionship of wine. So that's why I featured Amontillado sherry. And the other reason was to use it because Don Facundo is coming from Catalonia, and in Catalonia it has a tradition to drink sherry. So it clicked to the history of the Bacardi family. The third element what they use is a banana liqueur from GFAD, and it represents the fun when you're totally limitless and you just having quality time together, laugh out loud and everything. So that's why I use it. Uh, I use black walnut bitters just to showcase that when you have an argument with your friends and just you two draws, because obviously you're gonna overcome on these small things and carry on as friends, and that makes the bond even stronger between you. And the last ingredient that they used was citrus mix, 70% of lemon, 30% of lime, but you can actually use a mixture of malic acid, tartaric acid, and citric acid. It really depends if you had access to fresh citruses or not, but the flavor profile not gonna change. And the reason why I used it is because when you were away and you didn't see your friends for such a long time, and you see them again after a long time, citrus has this refreshing feeling. What you actually experience in the drink as well. So that's my drink pretty much. Very simple, easy to replicate it because all the ingredients you can find it at any bar of the world, no matter where you go. You don't have to cook anything. You don't have to do crazy preparations. It's a very accessible drink, very nice drink as well, and easy to replicate it wherever you are in the world. So even if you travel a lot, you can ensure that you pop into a bar and you can ask the bartender, and he's gonna be like, "Yeah, I
Hey,
can make
Matt,
it."
you held that down like a fucking champion.
How is the nappy situation?
Yeah. my
Could you
I gotta
manage to
say,
change it?
you're a professional at this. For those for the people jumping on now, I got two sick little boys, and I got one boy
Um,
inside the other cabin room.
yeah, I feel
Yeah,
you, bro.
he's not doing so well. So,
Hope you're gonna get better soon.
but that kind of brings me to a point where we're talking about traveling bartenders. You know, thanks, man. We're talking about traveling bartenders. We're talking about um, how you go about spreading a legacy around the world. And I think one of the biggest things that gets overlooked is the people who support you and the people who are behind you and helping you at every stage of the way. I mean, without my partner, none of this would be possible. Yeah, and that's including having these hangouts. To
Yeah,
take 30 minutes, to take an hour out of my holiday to talk to somebody on the other side of the world. Um, that's not a decision that I can make by myself. I need to make that decision with my partner. And
yeah.
you need to
Obviously,
have, if you're
family.
going to travel and if you're going to do these outside the box ideas, you need to have somebody who's behind you 100%.
Yeah, family and friends has a crucial part in legacy. So it's like a like football. It's a teamwork, obviously, and it's not an individual game. Obviously, you are the face of your campaign, but without the support of friends, family, and your loved one, it wouldn't be possible to compete in an efficient manner. To me, I didn't even want to enter it, so friends were convincing me to enter it, and I got a lot of support from my girlfriend, who is, I think, pretty much the best person I ever met in my entire life, and I really hope she gonna be on my side in the next 50, 60 years, uh, because she's an amazing person and just matching so well. And without her support, I wouldn't even be here talking to you today, because I'm just kind of fed up with competition. So the only reason why I gave it a go, because I moved back to Hungary, and in the last 6 years I was in London, so no one knew me in Hungary, and I thought that it's a good idea to meet Hungarian bartenders and get to know each other and know the Hungarian bartending scene a little bit better and have a better understanding on things. And I didn't expect that I'm gonna be top three. I was quite surprised I made it to top 10, and ever since that, things just changed a lot. I mean, my life changed a lot, because there was a week, for example, I was doing seven guest bartendings, three master classes, went to hotels to do master classes. Then on the same day, I was doing guest shifts, so it was quite busy. And those time came from the time what we could have spent together with my girlfriend. And without her, I wouldn't be able to do it, because it was our time, and she was like, yes, go for it, do it, I know
Matt, I think
it's useful for us.
uh, I think the connection on your end is pretty poor, man. You keep dropping in and out.
Oh yeah, let me just relocate a little bit. Let me just trying to relocate. That the downside of Grand Cayman, so you don't really have a decent internet connection. Okay, doc.
When are you when are you heading back to Hungary again?
On the 3rd of January, which means pretty much 4 days from now. And then
Oh,
they gonna have a, yeah, it's a Friday, and then they're gonna have pretty much 3.5 weeks to push it until we go to Moscow. It's going to be a very busy month, and it's going to be very quite challenging, because I have family. I have two nieces and a nephew. They're missing me. I'm missing them. My parents are living on the countryside, so I should definitely go and see them as well for a couple of days. So it's going to be. Interesting period. How about you? What you gonna do in January?
So, I mean, just like you, January is kind of, my finals is in March,
Yeah.
and it's here in Sweden, in Stockholm. But like the next 2 months, man, it's gonna be full on. You know, a lot of shifts, a lot of hangouts. I'm trying to reach as many consumers as possible. The reason why I want to talk to you specifically about travel is because you're traveling more than a lot of people that I see online, and it amazes me watching people traveling around. I'm very interested to see how they do it and how they get about basically surviving on the road so much, because I don't have the capabilities to do that. So everything that I'm doing, I'm trying to do from a room, on a screen, and I think if traveling isn't something that you're able to do, you need to find ways around it. You can never let your inability to travel hold you back, and you can never let
Yeah,
your
totally agree.
inability to, you just have to. I mean, we live in this amazing age of technology and information, that there's a million different ways to connect with people,
Yeah,
and you just have to think radically. You have to think outside the box, and then you have to just make
exactly.
it happen.
Yeah. So this is how you can basically meet a guy from India who is doing legacy in his country and just have a chat like if you were actually in India, but you don't have to travel, and it's good. It's awesome. That's why
Yeah, and
I really love the idea of Hangouts.
thanks, man. I really
I
appreciate
was
that.
I was
It's
like,
something that
that's what I wanted to do. I was like, oh, this guy is doing it already. Cool. Maximum respect.
I think. Thanks, man. It was one of those things where I was up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was hitting my brain. I'm like, how am I going to? I can't do all these guest shifts like Let Me Start is doing. I can't do these guest shifts like Kura is going around India right now. I'm like, fuck, but like, how am I going to get seen? And so at 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the morning, it hit me. I'm like, YouTube.
Yeah.
I'll do online seminars. I'll talk to people all around the world. It helps them, and that's what I'm about. I'm about helping other bartenders, because at the end of the day, my legacy shouldn't end with me making it, not making it, winning or not winning. My legacy should be
No.
something that, in 5 years, in 10 years time, you know, at least someone can look back and say, okay, well, this guy took legacy online. This guy took legacy to the digital sphere, and he thought in a radical, fragmented, modern way, and that's kind of
Yes.
that's what
That's
I want
kind
my
of your
legacy to be.
legacy. Yeah. And it's pretty cool because no one ever done it before you.
No, and more important than all that, I'm meeting friends.
Yeah.
It's so cool because it feels like the more people that I speak to, let's say, cross fingers, we both make it to globals, right? Right? Everyone, that's
Yeah.
it. Go
And
go
in
go online.
Amsterdam?
Yeah. Go online, have a look at Amistad, get him to Amsterdam, please. Uh, but let's say we get there, then I feel like I know you.
Exactly, because we
We
know each other in a way. We spent 1 hour together just talking to each other, sharing experiences, exchanging ideas. I gotcha.
Yeah, and it's such a cool, for me. It's such a cool feeling. It's such a cool feeling to think that, okay, we have this one thing in common, right? We have Bacardi, and we're both living two different perspectives through this one cup.
Yeah.
You're on the ground, and you're traveling using your body, and you're seeing the world in a way that I'm not, and I'm traveling digitally. I'm inside, and I'm walking around, and I'm experiencing things that you're not.
Yeah.
And together, we meet on this platform. We we share our concepts, we share our ideas, our experiences, and our feelings, and it helps you, it helps me, and it helps maybe 10 people
The
watch
entire
this, maybe
community.
10 million people watch this. At the end of the day, knowledge only really stops when you decide that you want it to stop, and perspective is what drives that, and experience is what drives that, and it's this train that won't stop unless you turn the engine off.
Yeah, true story. Totally agree. Entirely agree. And you know what? The one thing what I really wanted to ask, how you can get listings, how you do listings. Obviously, you have your friends, they are running bars and so on. But besides of that, obviously everyone has limited amount of friends and limited amount of listings. So how you approach new people to get your drink on menus?
That's a really tough one, right? I spoke with did I speak? Yeah, I spoke to Traveller over in Switzerland about
Yeah,
that. About how the hell are you supposed to get these listings? And it can be really confronting, and it can be kind of scary to go to people and just say, hey, do you mind putting my drink inside your venue, please? And you have to cross your fingers and hope that they want to sell it. You have to pray to whatever god you believe in that they're going to sell it. But at the end of the day, if you don't put yourself out there, and if you don't say, yeah, whether or not they do it, whether or not they sell it, well, I'm going to make that effort. And for me, it was about, well, I'm going to make these contacts. I'm going to speak to some dude in Hungary I've never met before. We're going to make a connection. We're gonna become friends, and then I don't feel this internal stress of begging. I feel like
yeah.
it's coming from a more honest place, and it's coming from a place where I'm comfortable to reach out and ask for a favor, because I know that we've established something,
Yeah,
and
and we are in the
I'm more
same
than
boat.
happy.
So I feel
Yeah,
you,
and,
you
and I
feel
think
me.
exactly. And sometimes it's easy to get lost in the word competition. It's easy to get lost in this idea of, well, I have to beat Lamistad. He's a competitor. Well, you are a competitor, and we are competing, but in the same breath, being selfish, being aggressive, doesn't help anyone.
No.
You know, and you have to open yourself up and say, well, maybe I list Lemmy Stud, but he doesn't have the capabilities to list my drink. Well, that shouldn't stop me from helping you, because perhaps you can help me in another facet that I'm not aware of.
Yeah.
So getting menu listings is tough, and I think you have to be honest with who you're speaking with, and it's very easy to sniff out bullshit. It's very easy to tell if someone's genuine, if someone's honest, if someone has your best interest at heart, or your venue's best interest at heart.
Yeah. So what I was doing in the last 2 months, I went to places like absolutely randomly. I gave them a sample. I was like, listen, this is the drink. I have a calculation. This is the cost price of the drink. This is what you can sell it for, and this is how I can support you. I have printed menus, so you don't have to invest money in print of everything. I'm gonna get in touch with the suppliers. I can do it for you. Just please put that menu, make it as a drink. I'm happy to train your staff, even happy to deliver the spirits. Let me get you all the contacts. Just please, if you want it, if you're interested, if you like the drink, just list it, temporary, permanently, entirely up to you. And basically 25% of the people, after they tried, they were like, okay, it doesn't cost me anything, even the menus are printed, so why not? 75% of the people were like, okay, we're gonna think about it later on. We just changed the menu. We have no capability to do that. Blah blah blah. But obviously, you don't have to worry about the 75%, because you reach the 25%, and the 25% who you reach, they're going to be your ambassadors. because they
Right.
like the product, they like the way how you approach them, and they want to help. So that really worked to me. Just going to strangers entirely shamelessly, because at the end of the day, you have nothing to lose. What's gonna happen? Worst case scenario, they're not gonna like your drink, but that's it. You don't have to like everything. So you have to accept that everyone different. Everyone works on different ways. Everyone thinks in different way, and everyone feels differently. Once you accepted it, then it's gonna get you the freedom to accept it.
Matthias, I think you hit two nails on the head there, and I think if you know these two nails that you hit are absolute golden nuggets, right? Customer service. That's something that never gets spoken about highly enough. You know, you can't expect these venues to do the work for you. You know, if you're going to ask for that favor, and this is when I can tell that you're a genuine person and you're a good-hearted person, because if I own a venue and some guy comes up to me and asks for me to help with his legacy and help with his listing, and he's telling me, all right, you know, I've got the bottles to help you. I've printed the menu. If you don't have the product, I'll get the product. If you don't have the contacts, I'll find the contacts. You know, just whatever you need, I'm here, because this is a two-way street.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's that's a really beautiful thing, man. And I think sometimes even myself, I can get lost in the fact that, like, okay, well, everyone has the products, you know, please just list the drink. And maybe they do it because they like you or they like the concept. But if you don't have that level of customer service, if you don't have that level of genuine support, maybe it just dies there. It just dies as a good idea in a good venue, and nothing comes from it.
Yeah, but obviously you don't want your legacy to die, and that's what basically you said. Like, your legacy stops when you decide it, so you have to push it through your limits. And sometimes you're tired, sometimes you just fed up, and sometimes you just like, okay, I had enough of everything. Life is just being chaotic. But at the end of the day, you sit down for 5 minutes and you are like, no, I gonna do it. I want to do it. That's why I want to get listings, and I want to spread the love of my drink, because you believe in your product, you believe in what you created, and you want people to believe in. So everything depends on how can you approach them, and that's how basically you can get listings, I reckon. But at the
Absolutely, man.
beginning,
And
I struggled a lot with it at the beginning, to be fair. Like, in the first 2 weeks, I was like, no, 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 no. Then I sit down, I was like, okay, what if I just put everything together and offer you? I'm like, here we go. You have nothing to do. Just just make it. I'm gonna support you entirely. Just make it. You don't have to worry about how you can get it, how you need to make it, what you have to print. No, I'm gonna support you with that. Just make it.
man, and that's a great thing. And the second point that you hit on is, hey, man, not everyone's going to love your drink, you know, and not every venue is going to want to support some random dude, and that's okay. It's okay that you know, venue owners or bar managers either A, don't want to support you. It's okay if they don't like the concept. It's okay if they don't like the drink. You know, you said that, what's the worst that's going to happen? You know, and if you let those barriers stop you, then legacy and top three it's going to be a really hard journey, because you're constantly running uphill. You're constantly chasing, you know, Traveler. You're constantly chasing Envious Cocktail. You're constantly chasing, you know, the. I mean, how we live on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
And we're always seeing people crushing it. We're always seeing people, you know, getting into 1,000 different venues.
Yeah,
And
but
if
obviously it's
you
their legacy journey. It doesn't necessarily need to be your journey. Your journey, your legacy is different, and you have to accept it. I've seen so many guys, they're smashing it on Instagram. They're traveling a lot, far more than me, but it's their journey, it's their legacy, and once you accept it, that's cool. Nothing to worry about. You have your own way to create your legacy, and pretty much that's all about it. It's entirely up to you, and it can't stop you. I mean, it shouldn't stop you because they are traveling more, they are smashing social media better than you. It's just random things. Social media is only one third of the entire score. So what is really important, what's gonna happen when you present what you've done in the 3 months, and then the stage, what you're doing on stage is more important than anything else, because you're gonna have that 6 + 2 minutes, and you have to be prepared for any any possible outcome. So you have to think about, yeah, there are several outcomes of the things. It can happen this way, or it can happen another way, but I have to be prepared for it. I have to be calm, and I have to be charming as well, and I have to make an outstanding drink. I have to engage the audience with my journey and my legacy. So that's why I don't let others people legacy to make you feel bad because your legacy is different. You just have to accept it. You're different. Your legacy is different. Pretty much that's it.
And like, I think you can't let you can't let no's stop you, because if you let somebody telling you no, I don't want to list the drink, if that's going to be the barrier that separates you and winning, well then you need to go back to the drawing board. You need to have a look at yourself. You need to understand that, okay, this is a different beast of a competition. Um, this isn't just your random brand comp. Like it's a marathon.
Yes, it is.
And when you look at, when I look at you now online, I can look at you with two different perspectives. I can say to myself, shit, like he is everywhere. He is everywhere. He is doing all these things. He's got this great concept with this mascot. He's got a great drink. He comes off really personable. What point do I have? What chance do I have? You need to flip that coin and say to yourself, okay, well, I have my own strengths, and I'm going to use what I see Matthias doing, and I'm going to get inspired by that, and I'm going to push myself to think a little bit harder, and I'm going to push myself to do a little bit better. And each and every day when I jump on Instagram, I've completely shifted the mentality of, fuck, I'm falling behind, to, yeah, okay, they're doing that. What can I do? And how can I do it? How can I be efficient? How can I be ready? How can I be professional? But also, how can I have fun? And
Yeah.
big shout out to Ray, Envious Cocktail over in Amsterdam. She was the second hangout that I had, and we spoke about this quite a lot in depth, about expectations and kind of understanding the gravity of the competition itself. And after that chat, I sat down and I looked at how I was approaching this thing, and I really altered my path for legacy. And I'm doing the same thing now. We're having this conversation, and if 0 people watch this, well, I'm taking away a lot. What I take away from this is, be professional. Give good service no matter where you are. Treat every venue that you go to as if they're a customer in a bar.
Yeah, I agree, and
And
it's a
maybe I
very
should get
good
a
thing.
mascot.
Maybe. I mean, the funny thing is that I just got a backpack from a friend of mine who I met 10 years ago. He's running a company, designing t-shirts, and so on. So I was like, yes, you know what? I would like to support your business. Please, could you create me this t-shirts, and I gonna tag you everywhere and so on. Obviously, I'm happy to pay, and I'm happy to help your business grow. It's a good thing because he's a friend of mine, and we can support each other. For instance, when he made the t-shirts and the backpack, I didn't expect any sort of backpack. I just ordered 30 of t-shirts to give it to my friends away to wear it to promote the drink. And he was like, okay, there is a little something for you. I know you like traveling, you're gonna love it. And that was a boot camp in Hungary, Bacardi Legacy boot camp. So I couldn't even meet him. One of the Bacardi guys went to get the box, and when I opened the box, I was like, "Wow, man! Super, super! Thank you. I really appreciate it. Made me cry almost." I was like, "How in the hell you knew that I gonna need this later, sooner or later?" He was like, "I know you're traveling everywhere, and it's going to be Frankie's new backpack." I was like, "Yes, it's going to be Frankie's new backpack." And ever since that, Frank is traveling in this backpack, not the pineapple one.
And it's so funny. We're talking about one of the points I wanted to talk to you about as well is creating a legacy. And when you're a genuine person, and when you're warm-hearted, and when you are charismatic, uh, I mean, people line up to help you, and that's one thing that I found doing these hangouts. I treat these hangouts kind of threefold. I treat them as obviously to promote my drink, and to promote Cubist, and obviously to promote you guys and what you're doing. I use it to make friends, and I use it to make connections. And more importantly, I use it as a way to kind of, as a platform to showcase who I am as a person. And the benefits that I find from this is, people hit me up on Instagram. It's 9:30 here now. I'll go to sleep in about 3 hours. I'll wake up in the morning, and I know that I'll have at least two messages with somebody saying to me, "Hey, that was really fantastic. How can I help?"
Yeah, and
And
that's amazing. Like that's awesome. Without Bacardi Legacy, there would be no chance to do it. So that's why
no,
Legacy
and
is so super nice compared to other comps, because it really brings people together and get a strong bond between the competitors. Because you get to know each other, you're gonna be friends, and even if your legacy finished, the friendship stays. So what you win at the end of the day is a real friendship.
yeah, I mean, like a really good example for people who may. It's very easy to get lost in these words, and it's very easy to think like, yeah, 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 like whatever, like you're just promoting Bacardi, blah 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 blah. But it's so true. A little story that I can share with people about yourself and me. We were setting this hangout out. We were talking on Instagram. We're setting a date, setting a time, and then out of nowhere, you just asked me, "Hey, can you come down to Budapest?
Yeah,
I'd love to have you. I'd love to have you at this event that I'm doing." And it's one of those things where you're like, "Fuck, dude! Like that's just out of a simple connection, and out of sharing something in common, and being genuine people. You're inviting me down to your city to be part of an event, and likewise, there's a guy in Greece. I'm having an event in Stockholm, and a couple of weeks ago, I told him, "Hey, dude, come to Stockholm." I said to Envious down in Amsterdam, "Hey, man, come to Stockholm." You know,
that's
and the
good.
invitation now goes to you. Like, if you're free at the end of February, come up to Stockholm. We'll have a joint party. And I think that's a really cool thing. It's a cool thing that people are there to help you and to support you. And uh, there's none of this kind of there's no vibe of, oh, I'm gonna get that Matthias. Like,
No, it's like cool. We're gonna hang out together, and I love Stockholm. A friend of mine invited me to Stockholm. I've been to Västerås as well. A few years ago, I met a guy called John. Actually, two guys, John and Jonathan. And I was bartending at that time at Artesian at the Langham Hotel. So they visited us, and we became friends. I was doing a guest shift in Västerås later on. Ever since that, either they are coming to London or I'm visiting them in Stockholm. We had a few days together in Stockholm. We visited places like Little Quarter,
I closed
Haymarket,
down.
and so on. Yeah, I know. But Andrea just opened the place recently. So I really want to go there and say hi to Andrea. Just try to imagine I went there. I was like, okay, guys, this is probably going to be my place for the next 3 days. I went to different places, but Little Quarter had very special place in my heart. It was just what I think, how I think about drinking. You have outstanding drinks, cool friends, but no garnishes, focus on the drink, focus on the vibe of the place, and that's it. Obviously, no chat and rap music. What else you want?
It's so funny to hear a 2 meter tall mascot carrying Hungarian beast, relate to me and where I'm from. I think that's really cool, man.
Let me show you something. Hold on for a second.
That is a lot of hats. What you got there, buddy?
So that's my suitcase, and that's little quarter.
Oh shit!
Yeah, man.
Oh, man, I'm gonna take a. Let me get a photo of that. I'm gonna send it to the guys who left. Let's see here.
So say hi to Daniel and Andrea as well, please.
Yeah, we'll do, man. Fuck, it's a small world, man.
Yeah, man. The hospitality what they provided was like, wow. Those
And
guys were smashing.
I think to bring it back into legacy, it's if you take that mentality of being hospitable and being a good person in all aspects of what we do as a job and as a passion, I think you're going to go far. We all know those people in hospitality that are kind of cold and closed in. They're really hard to break, and maybe they don't make the best workers or the best people in the industry. Uh, and generally speaking, that doesn't translate well into these kind of marketing competitions. You need to be open. You need to be hospitable. Uh, you need to be open.
Yeah, yeah,
And
because
I think that's what creates a really good legacy, regardless of what your concept and your story is. I've never met GN who won a few years back, but everybody that I know who knows him or has passed him, they've got nothing but amazing things to say about the guy, and that's a legacy. I met Ran, who won 2 years ago. He came to Stockholm. I met him, an amazing guy, a great guy, and that's his legacy.
I met Eric and I was like, wow, man, absolutely maximum respect to him. So when I met him, I traveled 15 hours from Dubrovnik, Croatia, because at that time I was about to move back to Hungary, but I was working in Dubrovnik, Croatia in the summer season. So I got on the bus. I traveled 15 hours just to be in Budapest, just to listen to his speech. And that was the point when I decided I gonna enter Legacy. That was like, okay, dude, you put things on a brand new level. And it was so inspiring. The whole speech was so inspirational. And obviously, Eric is such a lovely guy. I mean, he's full of love, he's full of ideas, and he's kind of laid back, easy to approach him. I was like, yes, I want this in my life as well. You know what? I'm happy to compete, whatever. And obviously, what I had to do is just send a recipe, and it was funny
Yeah,
though.
and for anyone that ends up watching this, it's easy for us to. I keep using this term, but it's kind of really relevant in this hangout. It's easy to get lost in the fact that, okay, well, we're now talking that we're top three. We're hopefully going to progress onto the finals and blah 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 blah. But at the end of the day, it's hitting send on that recipe, and it's hitting send on that, on the first step of your legacy taking place. And if you have a solid ground as a person, if you have a solid concept, if you believe in the concept, if you believe in the drink and what the drink's made of, hitting send it's the least of your worries. And trust me, from the bottom of my heart, only good things have come out of me hitting send on that recipe entry.
Yeah. You know what? I got a good idea. What if I told you I'm heading to Stockholm at the end of January before I'm heading to Moscow. How does it sound to you?
I say let's do something fucking cool, man.
I'm gonna text John as well. So I go to Västerås as well and Stockholm because it's like 1 hour by train. So you can use that 1 hour to refresh yourself after being hangover, drink some water, and smash it again. So yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna start to watch for cheap flight tickets and heading to Stockholm potentially after the 23rd of January because
Perfect,
in the middle of January I have a very big thing to do and it's going to be pretty exciting. So I found tickets to Puerto Rico, and obviously I want to visit the distillery and want to do a guest shift as well. So I want to be at the place where Bacardi is currently now, and I found cheap flight tickets. Like it was £300 for a return ticket. It means that it means that okay, I don't mind if I if I was staying on 9 hours long flight, but dude, it's Puerto Rico, and I don't think that I ever again gonna have the opportunity to visit Bacardi if I'm not doing it right now with this competition. And it's something what I always wanted to do. I don't know if you watched the videos of mega factories, and there was an episode with Bacardi. I was like, wow. And you could see that when the molasses is coming out from the trucks, and it's like I was like, yeah, I want to go there, I want to see it. Obviously I want to try it, I want to go to their bar and drink an president a daiquiri. And I was like, yeah, right now it's the opportunity because this is the only thing what you really wanted to do, then you can do it. And okay,
man.
I'm
You need to take the opportunities when they present themselves, because like you said, maybe after this you realize I can't compete again in such a massive competition like this. You know, maybe this is the end of my road with competing. Maybe I'm getting too old or tired or family or whatever the reason may be. You really need to enjoy these moments, and you really need to enjoy the ability of traveling and the ability of creating something and knowing that, okay, this may all end tomorrow, and what did I get out of it personally, what did I get out of it professionally. You really need to look at it with very clear eyes.
yeah, and this is the time right here, right now. If the opportunity disappears, then you're gonna always ask yourself why I didn't take it, why I didn't
Yeah.
take the opportunity, why I didn't recognize that's an opportunity, because it's a hell kind of opportunity. Try to imagine you do a live from the Bacardi distillery and you make Amistad or you make the Cubist or you make both, because obviously everything is you they're gonna have it there. So
Well, I'm heading.
what if I was going there and I would hit you with the video, here we go, dude, that's a Cubist from Puerto Rico. You don't have to be physically there, but I can make it for you.
Well, I'm going to be in Puerto Rico with Bacardi on the 21st of February. So
Oh,
how
lucky
about
you guys.
how about this? How about we have another live hang when I'm at the bar in the Bacardi distillery.
Oh, that's super cool. Because in Eastern Europe, you're not gonna go to Puerto Rico by Bacardi. You're heading to Moscow, where the local finals coming to be held, Eastern European finals. I know UK and the Northern European finals are gonna be taken to Puerto Rico, but we are not. So I was like, okay, but I will go it. I will do it. I will do it on my own. I don't care.
Yeah,
I
and you
want this
should, man.
experience. I want
But
this experience.
let's promise that. Let's say, okay, I'm gonna go to the bar. I'll order a cubist. I'll order Lamistad, and we can have another live hangout when I'm at the distillery. Sounds good.
Sounds good, bro.
Fantastic, man. Buddy, I'm gonna go over back to my kids. Make sure that they're sleeping nice and tight. But I think we covered some really beautiful things, and I'm really excited to see you in Stockholm, and
Really
B
looking forward to do it.
Yeah, it's gonna be fantastic, man. And I'm really excited to have another live hangout with you from Puerto Rico.
It's going to be freaking cool. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity, and it was really nice to talk to you. I'm super happy, and right now, after we hang out, I'm heading to the beach, and I have to swim a little bit.
Yeah, and get a couple of drinks of rum inside you as well, responsibly, of course.
Probably, yeah. Responsibility is something what I'm big at, and it's too early. It's just
But,
3 o'clock. Cheers, brother.
Matty, cheers to you, man.
Cheers.
Big love to you. Big love to Lamistad. Big love to Frankie. And
Big love to Cubist.
Thanks so much.
Cheers, mate.
Delicious, man. Cool. So, brother, we'll end it there. Go enjoy the beach. Go spread the love of friendship. And man, congratulations on. I'm not even going to congratulate you on your drink because you know all that. But congratulations,
it's
congratulations
my
on being congratulations on being a great person, man. Truly.
Likewise, bro. Likewise. I mean, I didn't expect that conversation gonna go in this direction. I'm like, wow. So you need a few more hours to calm down because I get so super excited, and it was so lovely to talk to you. So I can't wait to meet in Stockholm in person and share a few shots of Bacardi and talk.
And I can't wait to see you in Amsterdam as well.
Likewise.
All right, brother, man. Have a great day.
See you, brother. Have a good one.
Peace.
And yourself, hopefully, really hope you're gonna get better soon. Take a good care of
him, man. They're strong boys. All right, bud. All right, man. Peace and love to you.
Have a good one. See ya, brother.
Peace.